Hey, student, how are you? Welcome to our session on which is better, the X method or factor by grouping for factoring quadratic trinomials. We're going to take a look at one example and use both of these methods. You tell me which one's better. Here we go. Here we have our quadratic trinomial. I'm going to start by using the X method to factor. I'll set up my X method, and we'll identify A, B, and C. A is 5, B is 19, and C is 12. A times C goes in the top. 5 times 12 is 60. B goes in the bottom quadrant, 19. And then A is the bottom of our fraction. And then we'll ask ourselves, what multiplies to 60 that also adds to 19? Let's see, what multiplies to 60? 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20. 4 times 15 is 60, and 4 plus 15 is 19. We'll be sure to reduce before you use these numbers to write the factored form. We can divide the top and bottom by 5, and we get 3 over 1. And bottoms up, we'll use the bottom number first, 5x plus 4, parentheses 1x plus 3. And here is our factored form. Now let's take a look at factor by grouping. For factor by grouping, we need to break up the middle term. We need to break up the middle term into two numbers that multiply to 60, multiply to equal 60, and that also add to the middle term 19. We can break up the middle term and rewrite our quadratic 5x squared plus 15x plus 4x plus 12. 15 and 4 multiply to 60, also add to 19. Now we'll factor by grouping. We have 4 terms. We'll factor out the greatest common factor of the first 2 terms and the greatest common factor of the second 2 terms. 5x is the greatest common factor of the first 2 terms. We're left with x plus 3. And the greatest common factor of the second 2 terms is 4. We're left with x plus 3. Now we have our first term and our second term. And we see that they both have a common factor of x plus 3. So we will factor out the greatest common factor again, x plus 3. And we are left with 5x from the first term plus 4 for the second term. And I can rearrange this, and we do get the identical answer when we used the X method. So that concludes our session on using the X method or factor by grouping. Let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer? Thanks so much for joining our session, and I'll see you next time.